out the window. Just throw it out the window.
Okay, we're on. Hi, everybody. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes, and it's the girls today. The gang is all here, minus one. Stephen Hill is not able to join us today, but hello, Kwyn
Aw.
Townsend Riley. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Good, good. Got new hair?
Yes, y'all gonna see braids next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. All right. And Myra, you look fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Braided atop your head. How are
It, it,
you?
it, it is actually rolled up on pipe cleaners.
Ooh.
Shut up. That is crazy funny. That's very funny. And Kwyn, that's not unfamiliar to you, I'm sure. No, I do pipe cleaners all the time.
When I got faux locks, I was trying to curl my locks, and they were suggesting to use either flexi rods or like pipe cleaners. But I don't know how to actually do pipe cleaners, so I just said, okay, I'm not going to curl my locks. But
Well, maybe that's a show for another day. Hair tips.
Okay.
So, Kwyn, you are still about a month away from moving into your apartment. How are things going in your new job?
Things are going well. Today we actually cooked. There's a school for hospitality here at James Madison. And so they let us into this beautiful kitchen. I'm talking about top shelf appliances, like the standing alone mixer and all that type of stuff. And I made
not the standalone mixer. Woo, you living in high cotton. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Different little blades and stuff. And I made pound cake. Somebody else made like peach cobbler. Somebody else made like snickerdoodles. So it was really cool. I felt like I was on Chopped, and I was like running around the kitchen getting the.
Oh, they should do that. Do they do that at the school? That would be fun to do
I think
too.
they really should, and I would just love to just eat the food.
Of course. Could you be a judge on something like that?
I don't know, because apparently I had pumpkin pie for the first time, and I honestly couldn't tell the difference between sweet potato or pumpkin pie. And apparently it's like a thing, and I was like, oh, okay, well, they both taste good to me. So. I don't know if my grandma just got mad at me.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Don't be mad.
We have come so far from a hot plate.
In college.
Right,
Yeah.
college
Yeah.
ain't just a hot plate. If you were fancy, okay?
Fancy, yes. Myra, do you remember those little plier-like things that you would put in your water to heat up the water?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you plugged it in, Kwyn, and it was like a little grip thing, and it was steel material, and you put that in your cup of water, and it heats up your water for like coffee or tea,
or a cup of noodles. If you were fancy.
or a cup of noodles. Yeah.
Oh wow. That sounds
So Myra, I would heat up the water, then I would pour that into the cup of noodles, because I didn't want to scorch the noodles or anything, with but it was quite, those were the days. Okay. And if you have any other tips from the olden days that you would like to share with us, and these kids don't know anything, file. But Kwyn, I'm interested, because are you able to do the pound cake from memory? Do you have to look up the recipe?
Oh no, I looked up one for this class because I never, at least when my grandma makes it, I never actually asked my grandma to write any of her recipes down. So I'm usually just watching over her shoulder if I get a chance to, if she lets me in the kitchen.
Oh, that's cute.
So I went ahead and Googled a recipe, and it tasted pretty good. It tasted like, it was in one of those bundt cakes. So the bottom tasted like a sugar cookie, and then on top it was like really moist. And it was just like interesting, like to just see the butter going to the sugar, going to the flour, going to the eggs. And it was just like, it was cool.
With the standalone mixer.
Right. I was like, go.
So are you affected by the heat in Virginia?
Yeah, it was 90-something degrees today. Yeah, it was too much for me personally. But yeah, especially walking around on campus. JMU is huge. It's huge campus. So we had about like a 6-7 minute walk in the heat from my job to the Hart School, and then the elevator had the nerve to be broke.
No! Oh my God! How many flights of stairs? 1, 2?
4.
clutch the pearls. Did you all have to take a break?
Oh, yes, we all had to go up 4 flights of stairs. It was just like all sweaty, and then we had to stand in this hot kitchen. It was just like, man, it was a hot day.
So Myra J has. I'm going to ask you. We're running out of time, Myra, but I'm going to ask you to tell your story a little bit later about your encounter with weather and nature and things like that.
Okay.
All right, so let us take a look at the What You Need to Know newsletter. This, of course, is our Monday through Friday newsletter, and it is absolutely free if you would like to subscribe and be a part of our What You Need to Know news crew and find out things that are happening within the African American community from all facets, whether it's social justice with Coy and Kwyn giving us LGBTQ plus IA plus items as well as Cameron. I'm trying. LGBTQ, right?
LGBTQIA plus.
IA plus.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just get to the Q. I'm sorry. I don't mean to ignore anyone. So if I offend, I don't mean it's just.
Listen, that's better than Kim Burrell, but okay.
Okay.
You ready?
So let's talk about your story in the What You Need to Know newsletter. And you tell us what's in a name when it comes to transgender people.
Yeah, so there is a bill currently in the House in Illinois called House Bill 2542 that can help trans folks with their name transitions. I didn't know, and I don't know if you guys are familiar, but Illinois has one of the most restrictive name change laws in the nation. According to the current law, people with felony convictions must wait 10 years after the conclusion of their sentence to change their name. And in addition to these harsh restrictions, the current procedure for filing a name change is very antiquated, time-intensive, and costly. It requires a lot of paperwork, third-party witnesses, review by multiple agencies, and publication of the name change in a newspaper for 3 consecutive weeks. So the ability, or the people that are
in the newspaper
for 3 weeks.
Come on, you guys, they don't do classifieds anymore.
I was just about to say, but that's okay because who's still reading the news?
Apparently, Illinois.
Old school Illinois. I'm sorry. So I took you off. I was like,
no. So transgender or gender non-binary people that want to change their name. Because when you do go through a gender transition, you want to adopt a new identity. Sure. And this puts them at risk when they have to deliver a proof of identification and it's different than their gender expression. So this puts them at critical vulnerability for their health and for their safety. And as we know, transgender folks experience higher rates of incarceration and higher rates of violence than other folks. And so 32% of trans and gender expansive people who showed IDs with a name or gender marker that did not match their presentation reported being harassed, denied services such as housing, or attacked, according to the 2015 U.S. Transgender Survey. So this House Bill 2542, is a legal attempt to modernize the name change law in Illinois and advance health equity for these communities. This new bill repeals the 10-year waiting period, removes the lifetime ban for those with identity theft convictions, and gives discretion to judges to allow name changes for individuals who are on registries if they are seeking a name change due to gender identity, marriage, or human trafficking. House Bill 2542 also improves efficiency and increases transparency for the name change process, including expanded access to waivers to bypass the publication requirement. So it means you wouldn't have to get it published in the newspaper for 3 weeks. If this bill is passed, it will expand access to a legal name change for transgender and non-binary folks, which will in turn improve safety, economic stability, and health outcomes for folks, and hopefully eventually leading us to overall eradicating social banishment for formerly incarcerated folks. So please, senators, to get them to approve this bill. And
people in Illinois especially call your state senators, right?
Yes. And also pay attention to name change laws in the state. See how difficult it may be. I was trying to find something about name change laws in Virginia before the show. I didn't get a chance to look at it. But Illinois does have the most restrictive, so I'm curious about other states. Ooh, what's in the cup?
It's a little bit of Coca-Cola. Sorry. I like the mystery of the red cup, but really it's pretty boring. Yeah, sorry, I got a little something in my throat there. But I am very Myra, not yet. I know it's 5:00 somewhere, but
Literally, yeah.
I'm just intrigued that Illinois is so far behind.
Same, especially how liberal and democratic. Well, people say that Chicago's one of the most democratic cities because we have all these people elected and like all these governed type of positions that people can vote on. But I was very.
But it's the rest of Illinois.
Yes, right. And people keep forgetting how like Chicago's just one part of this overall state. I forget that. I keep thinking that Chicago is a state, but it's not. But yeah,
it's a state of mind.
I was going to say, way back in the day with the original Mayor Daley, remember that? He made a speech where he said, here in the state of Chicago. Chicago.
Yeah, because that's the way he felt about it. It's all the rest of it that doesn't matter. But it does matter because I think that whoever is the sponsor of this bill probably is from a larger city in Illinois and is attempting to bring the rest of the state into the 21st century.
Right. And I didn't even think about really like how disproportionately affected transgender folks are when it comes to lots of bills that affect formerly incarcerated people. It's almost like the two are like lumped into the same type of category.
That's interesting.
And that's so not fair.
Yeah, it's just like the marginalized are always with like the deeply marginalized. And that's just really unfortunate for somebody to celebrate this new gender transition. They want to change their name.
Like you come out of prison.
And it's just like, that's interesting. Like, what does that say as a society when we go ahead and make that synonymous type of experience and procedure, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's interesting. Well, keep us up to date on that. And once again, give us the number on that bill, Illinois Senate bill.
Yes, House Bill 25.
Oh, House Bill.
2542. Yeah, 2542.
Okay, helps trans folks with their name transitions.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. I don't know what you all are planning to do, but I am going to be in front of the television to watch the final scheduled public hearing in which the House committee investigating the January 6th attack is going to be giving a minute-by-minute, this is the promise, a minute-by-minute rundown, a timeline, if you will, of Donald Trump's activities from the time that he gave his speech at the Ellipse to when he was going back to the White House, although he wanted to go to the Capitol, according to reports, and what happened as he waited and watched and waited as the attack took place on the U.S. Capitol, which include many of his friends, many of his fellow Republicans, and including his vice president, as they hid and tried to save their lives from a mob that was making their way into their space. And they were coming to hang Mike Pence. They had all of the equipment, they had the weapons, and all of this. So this is the rundown they're going to give at the public hearing on Thursday. They're also going to include testimony from several people who were in the White House the day of the attack. And one of them was a high level national security advisor. And he was so disgusted by what he saw happening or not happening on the president's part that night, he gave his resignation, and they announced it the next day. Also, the deputy press secretary, a young woman who has been publicly supporting Cassidy Hutchinson, who gave her testimony a couple of weeks ago, talking about, listen to her because she knows where she speaks. She too was in the White House that day, and she gave her resignation on that night. So it's going to be interesting. And as we talk about in the next issue of the newsletter, the Secret Service and how they have managed to say, oops, we erased all the text messages. Don't know what to tell you. It was a bad day.
What in Nixon is going on?
That's exactly what I thought about, Myra. The comparison to the 18-minute gap in the White House tapes during the Richard Nixon administration. And
question, Sybil, is this going to be aired during prime time tomorrow?
This is
Did I
Thursday.
get that correctly?
Yes, absolutely. So just about 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock on the East Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and our friend, the chairman, Benny Thompson, who likes to join the proceedings, he will not be present because he has tested positive for COVID. So, but I love him. I absolutely adore him, and I just love the way he has such a Southern gentlemanly style about himself, and the way that he is directing this committee. It's really great. And the way that he works with Liz Cheney, which I know can't be easy sometimes. The climate crisis foreshadows collective suicide. That is written by one Cameron Riley, if that name sounds familiar to you. Wildfires and heat waves are wreaking havoc across the globe and show humanity facing collective suicide. And we'll talk about that more in a little bit later in the show, because the president is attempting to make some executive actions, not executive orders, but actions on his part. And so we'll talk about that. But the world is on fire. You can see it. I mean, it's not just a question of saying it, and it's not hyperbole. The world is on fire. If you look at the fires across Europe, across other continents, and including America, we're on fire. Right now in Fort Worth, Texas, it's 109 degrees.
Oh, mercy.
And there are people who are on standby because of the fires moving into their communities. A lot of farms and a lot where there's a lot of dry brush because people aren't able to water, and we haven't had a lot of rain in the last couple of months. And it's frightening. I mean, there was a hotel right across from Dallas Fort Worth Airport. They had to clear it out yesterday. It caught on fire because of the heat, according to some reports. Wow. There was a fire at the dam in Nevada just the other day, and that affected the people's electricity and power and things like that. It's happening, and we have to do something about this. We may not be able to stop the heat from being as horrific as it is right now. This is a summer like people haven't seen in 40 years, but we have to do something about it. Rain dances or something. Myra, you were talking about having heavy rain and storms in Atlanta the other day. I was like, send us some barrels of water. We could use it, because it's a desperate situation. And people who are living in that weather, who unfortunately don't have homes, and people who are working in it every day, it's more than a notion. We've got to do something to help our people and to help our planet.
Yes. And schools that don't have AC. Like, I always think about the schools that don't have any air conditioning that still had to go to school.
I did not know that only 1% of, is it Europe or the UK, has AC.
Yeah.
As many times as I've been over there, I guess it just never occurred to me, because I'm like, well, it's not that hot, so I never checked to try to turn it on. I didn't know that they don't even have it. So they are roasting over there.
Yeah, and it's mostly it's not the normal residences, it's businesses, hotels and things like that. They have it, Kwyn. When you head over there, check the weather before you go.
I was just thinking, like, who don't have AC?
But it's a sad situation. So please be careful as you're going. And the last thing that I do want to mention, every week in our What You Need to Know newsletter, of course, we have our Black and Missing Foundation, and they're giving us this update. They've still not found this young woman whose name is Relisha Rudd. She is, if she were alive, and we're hoping that she is, she would be 16 years old right now. She disappeared when she was 8 years old, living in a homeless shelter in Washington, D.C. And I remember this story. She disappeared with the janitor at the homeless shelter. They subsequently found the janitor. He committed suicide, but they had never found Relisha. And so please go to our newsletter, look up her picture and the information. If you have any information, please go to the Black and Missing Foundation website. Relisha Rudd has been missing from Washington, D.C. since March of 2014.
Oh, very sad.
It is. Okay. So I think we're calling an audible on our what's really going on question. I did have an original question, but it was suggested as a result of our conversation before the show that we change the question and and this sounds like a express yourself question, Myra. But what are those old wives' tales? What are those things that you were told or taught as a child that seem crazy now? And the example that I can give you is the conversation we were having with Myra J. Before we went on, and we were talking about coloring our hair and how many of us have more gray than others. And Myra J just very, very subtly putting her head in the camera, uh, showed us how little gray hair she has. And so I will tell you that I've had gray hair since I was in high school. People on my mother's side, my mother's side, they all grayed very early. They had beautiful heads of white hair when I was growing up. So I'm ready for it. I think it's not quite that pretty yet, but so I've been accustomed to gray hair pretty much all my life. But Myra says that this is the extent of her gray hair. And why is that, Myra?
Well, I have been told that eating a lot of spicy food, hot peppers and stuff, that it slows down the gray. Now, y'all can laugh if you want to, but I'm just showing you. I've been eating jalapenos since I was a little kid, y'all. And that they said a lot of Latin people, if you know, eat a lot of spicy food. Think about it. You've seen Latinos with just this head full of dark hair. Don't look. I didn't make the rule up. You asked me the question. I'm just telling you what I was told.
So let me ask the people who are watching and listening today. Do you have any of those old wives' tales? Do you or old husband tales that you'd like to share that seem a little crazy thinking on it now? Because that does seem a little crazy, Myra, doesn't it? No, it doesn't to Myra.
Not to me. I'm gonna eat a hot pepper as soon as I get up from this chair.
I remember one time, Kwyn, they called the show and they told us this old wives' tale about clearing your face of acne. And if you take a baby's used diaper, with just number one, just with the urine, not with the whole thing, and you wipe it on your face, it'll clear up your complexion. I never tried it.
I have heard of people who rinse their face with urine for gray skin. Never tried it. Personally, I don't recommend it. I don't trust my own. I know
and I don't know if it's just baby's urine, because I don't think you want an old person's urine.
No, seriously, I know people who have done it with their own. Yes.
Wow.
And they claim that it worked. Yes.
I had a hard enough time, Myra. Do you remember the old movie? It was called Waterworld. And oh shoot, what's the guy? And now I can't remember. Kevin Costner's movie. And do you remember that where he drank his own urine? And it was like and then because he would take it from, well, it went through a process too, Kwyn. And so you put the process and then you
so he rinsed it off.
He kind of, I guess I don't know if there was charcoal in to take the impurities out. I know. I had to leave the theater, Kwyn, when I saw that. But there are old wives' tales that say that if you do, if you take your urine back in, or a baby or whatever, that it will keep your skin looking beautiful. I'd rather get a facial. But Kwyn, do you have any, or do you remember your grandparents or your mom saying one of those things and you think, that's crazy?
I mean, I have a few, but some of them are not the best, like appropriate ones. But the one I will say,
you think telling people to wipe urine on their faces?
I mean, I don't know if this is like a tale, but I do remember my grandma just saying something around the matters of like, I don't know if I should say this because my mom was probably watching.
Okay. So we'll figure out a way to word that.
Yeah, my mom is she's a medicinal woman.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime any of us would hurt ourselves, like let it be a cut, a burn, a bee sting, whatever, she would just say, put aloe vera on it. Like,
yeah,
nothing else. So I say that's like the main tale that we have like lived.
But that's not as absurd as.
But that's true.
I think. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's absurd.
Yeah.
At all. Like
we're talking about some crazy stuff. Like if the sun is shining and it's thunder, that means the devil whooping his wife.
Yeah.
Drink coffee and make you black. If you put a man's shoes down beneath the bed, the man gonna leave you.
Don't buy your partner pair of shoes.
Don't buy a man a pair of shoes because he'll walk away.
Walk away.
Oh no, I don't know if I've heard any of those before.
Yeah. Now, Myra, the only reason why I don't, because I don't know about the eating hot foods, because my mother lived with a bottle of Tabasco sauce by her side every day.
She didn't drink enough of it. Then you drank it straight out the bottle. Then she put it in the glass and put a couple of cubes in it, stir it around, throw it back like
First today. Yeah. Narisha Tate on YouTube says, use breast milk to heal any eye injury or pink eye. Breast milk.
I never heard that.
For any eye ailment or pink eye.
I have heard that a big breast could injure your eyes.
I can put your eye out. Well, then, and I've seen that happen in my own life. So yes, absolutely.
Eye bumps too.
Okay. Manuel Murphy on Facebook said, well, my mother said every time her left hand itched, she would come into some money. Never happened. And you know why? Because Mr. Priest said, if your right hand itches, you're going to come into money. If your left hand,
you owe.
You're going to lose some money.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You owe money. Yep.
See, Kwyn, see what you're learning? You don't need all of that fancy postgraduate education. Come on, you're learning right here.
Look at these golden nuggets.
I got itchy palms. And apparently I didn't have, my palm wasn't itchy enough when I went to buy my Mega Millions Lotto ticket last night.
Cable bill due, play the Lotto. Okay?
So we're asking folks, please share with us your old wives or old husbands' tales about things that remedies or whatever. Brenda Brooks Perry on YouTube says, I've heard this, Brenda, and I never knew what that was. Keep poking your lip out, little girl, and you're going to get liver lip.
What's a liver lip?
What's a liver lip, Myra? And
this right here?
It'll stay?
Yeah.
And why is it a liver?
Because it looked like a piece of, look, all this needed some gravy. Gravy and onions on the side.
Really? That just looks like, Anthony Sanders on Facebook said, if you drink Buffalo Rock drink, it'll bring out the chicken poxes. And does that apply to the monkey poxes too?
I've never heard of a Buffalo Rock drink.
What is that?
Is that anything like oysters, Rocky Mountain oysters? I don't know what that means.
Mountain oysters. Okay.
Yeah. Which are orchard testicles. Kwyn.
Yeah.
They call Rocky Mountain oysters.
They're balls.
Yeah, they're testicles.
It's considered as a delicacy.
Okay, y'all nasty now.
I didn't say we ate them. I just said that's what they're called.
First balls, and now we talking about cum. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? There is literally Cetaphil.
Never heard that.
Never. I was told to rub it on my face to clear my skin, says Darletha Rhodes. No, I never tried it.
And I promise you, a man suggested it.
Oh, for sure. I
promise you that. Yeah, right.
And I have so many things running through my head as a response, and I can't. I'm sorry. And Yolanda, you can thank me later.
Just no.
Just keep it going. So if you rub a man's,
no,
I really don't get semen. I really don't get semen or urine because they're both acidic, and I feel like those are two things that should never actually clear up acne. But I guess like I don't know.
I don't know. I think whoever came up with those probably was a man. Uh, especially the semen part.
We're just going back to the Old Testament, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly.
Using what we can.
Yeah. And from Mother Nature. Yeah.
Right. The original. Yeah.
Oh, golly.
I have been told to make sure my underwear is always clean in case I go to the doctor.
Yeah.
So I have done that.
In case
I die, I guess.
You're in an accident. Yes.
Well, back in the day when they had the package and the fancy package, the days of the week panties, and you did not. Oh yeah, they had the days of the week on it. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yes.
What did Friday look like?
It was wild.
Friday was like, but you didn't want to wear the wrong panties on the wrong day in case you got hit by a car, because then people would think you weren't clean, because it's like, look at this baby laying in the street.
Still wearing Monday straws.
Who raised this child? It's disgusting. Never mind the fact you laid out in the street, but help me. Panties that she has on the wrong day panties.
She ain't got no sense. Where she been? What she doing? And wash her drawers.
Yep. And what's her mama name? Didn't raise her right. People were serious about them days of the week panties. They were very serious about it.
But I'm telling you, sometimes the Fridays were crotchless. That's all I'm saying. Wait
a minute. These were little kids' panties I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the pair you got when you went off to college. Okay. All right. My bad.
I'm still talking about little kids' panties, granny panties. I am shocked and appalled.
Oh, okay.
I still got that. I can't fit them, but you know.
Darletha Rhodes on YouTube said, roll your eyes one more time and you'll be picking them up off the floor. Now, what about getting crossed? You roll your eyes and they'll get stuck.
Yep.
Have you guys heard about lie bumps too?
Lie bumps,
like the little bumps you get.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't know. I don't know what that is. What is it?
I don't know what actually they really are to this day. I just know when I get them, I'll be like, "Dang, Lord, okay, please forgive me for lying." And I got to figure out what I lied about.
and so where's the lie bump? Is it on your
just
tongue?
around the tip.
Oh, okay.
Yep, because you was lying.
Oh,
that's why.
I thought that was a herpetic sore.
No.
I'm sorry, all those people that I looked at you funny. The lie bumps. Jackie Welch on YouTube says, my ex-mother-in-law would say a man had to be the first person to walk through your door on New Year's Day.
Yep.
Now, I've not heard that. Did it work for you, Jackie? I
like that.
I've actually put somebody out just so they could come back in. Yeah.
And what you do in the dark, says Renee Woodridge on Facebook, will come to the light. Yes.
And that was right before she said, and I got eyes in the back of my head.
And believe it. Don H.R. Frederick on YouTube, a broom should never cross your feet. It's bad luck. And there's also something about a broom, Don, that is when you should and should not buy a broom. There are months of the year where you shouldn't buy a broom or throw a broom out.
Well, I'm not going to buy one January through December if I got to use
it. Because you have people to do that. They bring their own broom.
Thank you very much.
No broom, and definitely not across your feet.
No.
Definitely not across your feet. Okay. All right, ladies. Well, that has been fun. Thank you all so very much. I appreciate that.
I've learned so much about our listening audience.
I know.
If
we have any more, we can wrap this up. If not, we can move on. Oh, Annette Brady, don't open an umbrella indoors. That's bad luck.
Yeah.
Or walk under a ladder.
Oh yeah, don't split the pole.
Don't split the pole.
Yep.
That's really hard for some dancers. Darnell Walton on YouTube says, put earwax
on your lie bump.
On your lie bump.
What?
Yep.
Why?
Because it'll shrivel it up.
That's disgusting. You're lying.
It'll make it.
I know you do not. I know that's not what we do. That's not.
Please tell me that's not it. Okay. All right. So that is what's really going on. That was fun. Thank you, Myra, and good luck with making people believe that it all has to do with the spicy food that you eat.
Yes, it is. It's genetic, man.
You got good genes. You got really good genes. All right, it's time to talk trending topics, ladies. And let's start off with young Kwyn. You are about to go across the pond, and you're going to be in London the end of this month, begin of the next month, as well as an appearance in DC. What's going on?
Yes, so I have 2 shows in London on the 29th and one on August 2nd. And I also have a show in DC on August 20th. Both are with So Far. So if you head to my Facebook page at Culinary, which is KWINOLOGY, all the ticket information is there. I hope you guys can make it. I would love to see you.
When is the Nikki Giovanni appearance?
Oh, man, that's what I was going to tell you, Sybil. So they canceled the event due to COVID and low number of registrants. But Nikki is still going to appear virtually. But they cut my time out because, they booked Nikki for like a certain slot. And so I'm they're still offering to pay me in person. So shout out to Skadden Law Firm, which is apparently the #1 law firm in the country, for being so professional, understanding as a young artist. Because I kept telling them, this is a dream come true, and the email invite that had her bio, next to mine, blew my mind. And so they called and told me yesterday, and I definitely cried yesterday, to be honest. But it is a delay, not denied, because they said
that's right.
So I'm trying to just keep the hope up, but
and keep hope alive. Because if I'm not mistaken, she is headquartered. Is it West Virginia or Virginia where she?
Yeah, she's actually in Virginia, and I'm in Virginia.
Virginia.
Yeah. So it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Yes, Nikki.
Holla at your girl.
Yep, she's so cool.
Yes.
Very, very nice. Myra J, you and a couple of fellas are going to be at the Stardome in Birmingham on September 2nd and 3rd.
Yes, Labor Day weekend. Come on out, and all I can say, it's going to be out of control. Okay, just it's going to be out of control.
You and J. Anthony Brown and George Wallace.
George Wallace, yes, it's going to be so
at the
much
Stardome
fun.
Labor Day weekend. Ooh,
Yep.
And George is really starting to work y'all hard too.
Yes, it's my understanding we're going to be in Memphis, I believe, in September also. I don't quite have the dates, but we're doing that, and then he's working on some. So George must owe somebody some money. Okay,
I think so.
That's what I'm thinking. He
His hand is itching.
Right.
So Myra, tell people about the weather in Atlanta.
Okay, so it's been raining here. And you know how many of us, we always have that escape plan. You walk into the movie theater, you want to know where the exit is. You sit in a restaurant, you want to sit facing the door just in case something go down. My thing was I have my phone right by my bedside. In case something happens in the middle of the night, at least I have my phone, I have contacts, I got insurance, blah, blah, blah. Last night at 10 something, I heard this whoosh, 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 crashing. I knew something was crashing and falling. When I tell you, ain't nobody got time for that moment. I left my damn phone. I jumped over my slippers. I ran out that bedroom so fast to my front door. As it turned out, a huge tree next door was falling, knocked out another tree and other branches, and literally fell behind my house. That's what I was hearing. I was hearing trees. If you've ever heard a tree fall, they're very loud. Trees falling,
but
branches
if nobody's
breaking.
there to hear it.
Well, trust me, it does make a noise. I heard it, and I left all that stuff. All my safety plans went straight out the window. I didn't grab anything but my A and hit it.
Kwyn, she said she did like a Fred Flintstone. She's like, and just trying to get out of there.
It was like feet don't fail me now. I was gone.
You thought that house was like crumbling crumbling on you, or like?
Yes, because I could hear something collapsing, and I'm right against the woods, as you can kind of see. His trees right behind me. Well, directly at my deck, there is a huge gap now because the tree next door knocked down the tree by my deck. Yeah,
Wow. Wow.
yeah, and I just knew that's what it was, and I was just praying that it literally wasn't falling on
And it was
my
so
home or my
dark back
neighbor's home.
there, you couldn't really tell.
You can't see anything, but I could hear it. And so you don't because here there are always stories in Georgia about a tree falling on somebody's house. That's why I was
Mm.
running. That's
Hmm.
why I was running because I was like, well, it can have a house. Just say it can even have a phone. I left the phone. I didn't take a millisecond to grab my phone. That's how scared I was.
So
Yeah.
much for the emergency plan.
An emergency
Yeah.
plan was straight out the door. I didn't even care. And the only reason, Quinn, I didn't run all the way out the house, I got to the front door and stopped because I went, the alarm is on. I am not properly dressed for my neighbors to see me right now. This is gonna be really TMI if I open this door and my house starts going woo 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 and
And you
everybody
didn't
comes
have
through.
the day of the week panties on.
And
So
I
you
did. I
know.
sure didn't. Wait, today was no day, okay? So I couldn't go out the door. I literally stopped right at my front door. Oh, wait, okay.
For
Yeah.
some people, it's no panty day every day, but for
Yeah.
you, it was specifically. It was
Yeah. Yeah.
last night was no.
That's
Yep.
funny.
Okay, okay, waiting for that doorbell to ring, I guess.
Still wait.
I'm
I
glad
never should have bought
everything.
him them shoes. Okay. Turn it.
Well, I'm glad that everything turned out okay.
No,
Everything
yeah,
came
I
out
hope
okay.
but nobody was hurt too.
No,
Huh?
nobody was hurt.
Mm.
No property was hurt. Now there's some homeless birds that keep landing on
Oh.
my deck out here. Like, yo, what you do? Like, can we get a little spot over here in the
Right.
corner?
They probably
Please,
so
please,
confused.
ma'am. Please, please. So that is what's going on. This is national news. The Senate has confirmed another Black woman to the appeals court level. This
Ooh.
happened with the nomination of South Carolina jurist Michelle Childs, or J. Michelle, as they call her, recently under consideration. Where do I know that name? She was under consideration for a slot on the Supreme Court. Do you remember
Mm-hmm.
when they were talking about the Black women that the president was considering to appoint to the Supreme Court? And J. Michelle Childs out of South Carolina was very close to the top of the list, next to our current jurist, Ketanji Brown Jackson. So she'll sit on the federal court, which is typically seen as being the proving ground for those being considered for the Supreme Court. They said that was the
Mm.
one thing that held her back, was her experience in terms of being at that particular level, and that's where Ketanji Brown Jackson came from. Is that
Okay.
D.C. Court of Appeals? So there were Republicans and Democrats voting for this, 64-34, to approve her nomination to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia. And the Senate Judiciary Committee voted 17-5 earlier this year to advance her nomination. She's been a federal judge in South Carolina at their district court level for more than a decade. And she was supported by both the Republican South Carolina senators, including Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott. And they said that he was certain that she would be a reliable vote for the liberal bloc of the court. But a lot of people did point to the fact that she had this conservative support, as well as the feeling that she perhaps would be ruling uh, on in a conservative fashion on some of
Mm.
these cases. So that is another Black woman working her way up to the top there, and which
Yeah.
is great news, absolutely. And we're talking about the environment and the climate and everything. President Biden announced 3 executive actions aimed at helping curb the impacts of climate change. This happened today, and it'll focus on helping communities cope with the heat. Please, Lord, providing money for cities to build infrastructure more resilient to the extreme weather, and expanding wind energy production to the Gulf of Mexico. And so he is talking about the Department of Energy is proposing for the first time ever putting wind turbines in the Gulf of Mexico to boost clean energy. And he's also directing that wind energy development be advanced in the waters off the mid and southern Atlantic coast. So that would be where you guys are. And he is expanding the wind power would create more jobs, more greenhouse gas emissions, which scientists say are the main driver of global warming, come from the burning of fossil fuels and things like
Mhm.
that, and gas and heated automobiles. So this is a step that hopefully will take place and do some good. It is going to take place, but hopefully it'll do some good in our country because the Republicans don't really care about the Republicans and their fellow Republican Manchin doesn't really care about the environment because he's a coal guy in West
Mhm.
Virginia, as you know.
Mhm.
Well,
Have you
plus,
guys?
our good air go over to China, and the China bad air come over here, and then we gotta fix the bad air before the bad air go back over there.
Myra, if this does not make people register to vote, I don't know what will. Quinn, do you know what she's talking about?
No, I
No.
don't. But I thought it
Okay.
was an impersonation of
Yeah,
somebody.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
It
yes,
is.
yes,
It's exactly
yes,
right.
yes.
Herschel Walker is the Republican running for the U.S. Senate in Georgia.
He said that.
He has said
Yes,
a number of really confusing and just mind blowing things that he has
that was
said.
his
What is
speech
up
on.
with people in China?
Who knows?
We don't
That's what he
know.
said about climate change. Yeah, yeah.
What? That scientifically doesn't even make sense.
No, no,
I know.
and nothing he says makes sense. He really doesn't. Even when he's talking biblically, it doesn't make sense because then he's talking about the evolution of man. Yeah, because y'all read your Bible and they talk about man evolving from apes. But if that was true, why do we still have apes? Am I
See,
the only
these
one?
are the people that God would just might.
He must be reading from that New Testament.
If he's reading at all, I don't think.
Well, that's the other thing because he said that he graduated at the top of his class, and we're not even sure that he graduated.
A
So,
class
yeah.
of one.
Yeah.
You
That's
go,
true.
boy.
Yeah,
You go.
yeah. You go away.
Please.
Go away.
Thank you.
Have you all been watching what's been going on at this theme park? It's an amusement park called Sesame
Sesame
Place.
Place.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
so sad.
So
Yeah.
the Sesame Street themed amusement park has apologized, saying the snub was not intentional. They promised more training for its employees after the video showing the costume character Rosita waving off two little black girls during a parade, and it went viral. The 9-second video posted Instagram by one of the little girls' mothers, and Rosita was high fiving the white child, and she came to the little black girls and just kind of shunted them away.
Yeah.
So now they said that they're, and it's not Sesame Street affiliated. It's actually run by the company that runs SeaWorld and places like that. But they say that they are going to have some sensitivity training, racial sensitivity training. They've apologized, and the mothers are still saying, no, we need to boycott. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The most interesting thing that came out of this, and I couldn't believe that he said this, but I think he just got caught up in his rhetoric. And this is the attorney representing the family. And it's a black man. And he said, we know our little black girls are magic, but who knew that they were invisible? And I thought to myself, we've been invisible for a mighty long time. We do encourage, that black girl magic. God knows we do, and we should do it every day of our lives to all the little girls, all the big girls, to ourselves every day. But I don't know very many women who have not gone through that. Like, do you see me standing here? Do you? Because for a lot of us, we've had that invisibility factor.
I have this poem that I wrote called Black Girl Magic, where I'm denouncing it because I feel as if that term really does just give this hyperpigmentation to Black women, as if we are some type of like magical, elusive, invincible, just non-human like thing, when really we do die. We are disappearing. We can hurt. We do break. We cry. And I feel like sometimes because of the myth of this strong Black woman, because of the myth of this, like, oh, like I just wake up like this, like people don't see us as like sensitive human like things. So when we do die, when we do disappear, it's not taken seriously because we're magical. We can reproduce, like we can just keep going. And it's like I need a break. I actually am crying right now, or I'm dead, and I need you to understand that I don't bleed glitter. Like I bleed blood, and the two are different. But I feel so bad. That video was really sickening because it makes you think about like other characters, at Universal Studios, and I'm not sure how many videos of babies like are being ignored just because they are Black, like at these theme parks and things. So I don't know what type of racial sensitivity training they can do more. But I'm gonna try to
if they've not done anything at all, something
that's something that's like they haven't done it already. Like what?
I'd be very this park has been in existence for 40 years, and so I kind of doubt that they have. I don't know for sure, but I'm kind of doubtful that they have.
I used to do a joke about taking my grandkids to Disney World, and I'm like, and Pooh Bear, come on, Pooh was up in the tree waving. I'm like, no, you know how much I paid? Pooh, you need to come down here and talk to my baby. You're not gonna, no, the honey is down here. The honey is down here. I know you up in the tree getting on.
Yes.
So I'm like, so anyway, they put us out of Disney World. I mean, that's my joke. About me snatching Pooh out the tree.
That's funny. That's very funny. All right, so let us move on, as if that weren't entertaining enough. Let's move on to the entertainment of me standing in line to get my Mega Million tickets and not finding my numbers as a winner the next morning. But nobody won all 6 numbers. No one picked the correct number. So $630 million Mega Millions jackpot. And a lot of it's going to go to taxes. I know.
That's such a scam.
Sign me up. I'm sorry. I'm going to take a shot. Sorry. Both hands are itching. Okay. Yeah. I also want to talk
about... What if your feet itch? Oh, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's
something
soap
different.
And water.
Right, okay.
That's soap and water. Beyonce has revealed the album track list for Renaissance and wants fans to release the wiggle when we know what that's from the first song, Break My Soul, the first single off the album, and treating fans with a dance anthem. So now she has unveiled 16 songs on Renaissance.
Wow.
And of course, we start with Break My Soul, I'm That Girl, Cozy, Alien Superstar, Cuff It, Check It. No, I'm sorry, that's American Heart Association. Alien Superstar, Break My Soul, Church Girl, Plastic Off the Sofa. Oh, that's when you're having a good time. Okay. Virgo's Groove, not Leo's Groove. Okay. Move.
Right.
Heated, Thick, THIQUE, All Up in Your Mind, America Has a Problem, Pure Honey, and Summer Renaissance. And the CD is going to drop, the album is going to drop, I think, on the 29th of July.
Okay.
Interested? Anybody?
Yeah, she didn't put any features?
She's got a video.
Okay.
She's dropped some album art. And this happened. She dropped this in June. Showed her sitting on an illuminating glass-like horse. Remember that? The Barely There sparkling ensemble, they describe it. And she's creating the album, allowed her to escape from a scary time for the world. So I guess whatever way we can do that, escape from a scary time in the world. More power to you. Are you excited, Kwyn?
I am excited. I didn't get a chance to see her. I hope she does go on tour another day because I didn't get a chance to see her on the run. And even when she did Baychella. So I'm hoping that she does go on another tour. But I am excited. I mean, like, Beyonce is an icon. Like, I grew up with her. So I'll just listen to it. I may not be able to break my soul because I am a capitalist slave. I got to work.
Okay.
In terms of the songs, I'm excited to see who else she worked with because I was really excited to see that she worked with Big Frida.
Yeah, I love Big Frida.
I'm excited to see, like, I don't know if she'll put Solange on there or I'm thinking of house music. Like, what if she put like a Chicago legend or somebody on there? Like that would be iconic.
Like Kanye?
No.
Wow, you dropped face real quick.
No.
I don't know, like a Chicago house DJ. Like, I don't know, like.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool. And she does that. I mean, you know, her musical choices are very interesting and sometimes really, you know, off the radar. So not knowing what to expect. Myra, are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Still holding that Kwyn face. Yeah. Still holding the Kwyn face.
No, yeah. I'm a fan. So yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. Let us close with our daily inspiration, Yogi's Jewel. And today is mental illness is nothing to be ashamed of. Please seek help. So inhale counseling, exhale shame. Keep exhaling. Keep exhaling. Yeah, get that out of there. Get that out of it. Stephen Hill, you missed a great show today. Thank you all so much. It was fun, girls. Really a lot of fun hanging with you all. I appreciate your time and continue to go out there and be wonderful. Thanks, everybody. I love you.
Bye, everybody.
Stay safe. Bye-bye.